From screaming dive bombers that broke enemy morale to jet fighters that rewrote aerial combat, World War II produced the most lethal aircraft ever seen. Today, we are ranking 30 planes that dominated the skies and terrorized the battlefields below. Let's begin. Germany, Luftwaffe terror. Messerschmitt Bf 109, the backbone. This was the most produced fighter aircraft in history, with over 33,000 units built throughout the entire war. It weighed 5,900 pounds empty and reached 398 miles per hour with a Daimler-Benz engine producing 1,475 horsepower. The later G model carried a 30mm cannon firing through the propeller hub that could destroy a bomber with one hit. Strengths include exceptional climb rate and devastating firepower, while weaknesses are narrow landing gear causing ground accidents and limited range. Focke-Wulf FW-190, the Butcher Bird. This was the fighter that shocked Allied pilots when it appeared over France in 1941, outperforming every Allied fighter. It weighed 7,060 pounds empty and reached 426 miles per hour, powered by a BMW radial engine producing 1,700 horsepower. The wide landing gear made it easier to land than the Bf 109, and heavy armament included 4 20mm cannons. Strengths include superior low-altitude performance and excellent armament, while weaknesses are reduced performance above 20,000 feet. Junkers Ju-87 Stuka, the Screaming Terror. This was the dive bomber that became the symbol of blitzkrieg warfare, fitted with sirens that screamed during dives. It weighed 6,600 pounds empty and reached only 255 miles per hour, making it painfully slow. The Stuka could dive at 90 degrees and place a bomb within yards of the target with terrifying accuracy, while the sirens broke enemy morale before the bombs hit. Strengths include unmatched dive bombing accuracy and psychological warfare effectiveness, while weaknesses are slow speed, making it easy prey for fighters. Messerschmitt Me 262, the Jet Revolution. This was the world's first operational jet fighter, faster than any propeller aircraft by over 100 miles per hour. It weighed 8,820 pounds empty and reached 540 miles per hour, powered by 2 Junkers Jumo jet engines. Armed with 4 30mm cannons, it could shred a B-17 bomber in seconds and was nearly impossible for Allied fighters to catch. Strengths include revolutionary speed advantage and devastating firepower, while weaknesses are unreliable engines with 10-hour lifespan. Heinkel He-111, the Workhorse Bomber. This was the medium bomber that carried the Luftwaffe's strategic bombing campaign from Poland to the Battle of Britain. It weighed 17,640 pounds empty and reached 273 miles per hour, carrying up to 4,400 pounds of bombs. The distinctive glazed nose made it instantly recognizable over London during the Blitz. Strengths include decent bomb load and long range, while weaknesses are inadequate defensive armament and vulnerability to fighter interception. Junkers Ju-88, the Fast Bomber. This was Germany's most versatile aircraft, serving as bomber, dive bomber, night fighter, and reconnaissance platform. It weighed 21,700 pounds empty and reached 292 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest bombers of the early war. It could carry 6,600 pounds of bombs and perform shallow dive bombing attacks. Strengths include exceptional versatility and good speed, while weaknesses are cramped crew conditions and vulnerability to fighter attack. Messerschmitt Me 410 Hornisse, the Heavy Fighter. This was the fast heavy fighter designed to destroy Allied bomber formations with devastating firepower. It weighed 13,560 pounds empty and reached 388 miles per hour, powered by 2 Daimler-Benz engines. Armed with 2 20mm cannons, some variants carried a massive 50mm cannon for bomber destruction. Strengths include heavy firepower and good speed, while weaknesses are poor maneuverability against single-engine fighters. Dornier Du 217, the Night Bomber. This was the heavy bomber used for nighttime attacks against British cities and shipping. It weighed 19,980 pounds empty and reached 320 miles per hour, carrying up to 8,800 pounds of bombs. Some variants carried guided glide bombs that could be steered onto ships from miles away, pioneering precision strike warfare. Strengths include heavy bomb load and pioneering guided weapons, while weaknesses are large size, making it vulnerable to night fighters. United States, American Air Power. North American P-51 Mustang, the Liberator. This was the fighter that won the air war over Europe by escorting bombers deep into Germany. It weighed 7,125 pounds empty and reached 437 miles per hour, powered by a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine producing 1,490 horsepower. The revolutionary laminar flow wing gave it exceptional range exceeding 1,650 miles with drop tanks. Strengths include unmatched range for bomber escort and excellent high-altitude performance, while weaknesses are poor low-speed handling. Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, the Jug. This was the heavyweight fighter nicknamed the Jug for its massive radial engine and tough construction. It weighed 10,700 pounds empty and reached 433 miles per hour, powered by a Pratt & Whitney R-2800 producing 2,535 horsepower. Armed with 850 caliber machine guns, it could carry 2,500 pounds of bombs for ground attack. Strengths include incredible durability and devastating ground attack capability, while weaknesses are poor climb rate and heavy weight. Lockheed P-38 Lightning, the Fork-tailed Devil. This was the distinctive twin-engine fighter that German pilots called the Fork-tailed Devil. It weighed 12,800 pounds empty and reached 414 miles per hour, powered by two Allison engines producing 1,475 horsepower each. The central nacelle held concentrated armament of one 20mm cannon and four 50 caliber machine guns. Strengths include long range for Pacific operations and concentrated nose armament, while weaknesses are poor performance in European cold weather. Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, the Legend. This was the iconic heavy bomber that symbolized American strategic bombing over Europe. It weighed 36,135 pounds empty and reached 287 miles per hour, carrying 4,800 pounds of bombs. Armed with 1350 caliber machine guns in defensive positions, it earned its fortress name. Strengths include heavy defensive armament and ability to absorb massive damage, while weaknesses are limited bomb load compared to British bombers. Consolidated B-24 Liberator, the Workhorse. This was the most produced American bomber with over 18,400 built, exceeding even the B-17. It weighed 36,500 pounds empty and reached 290 miles per hour, carrying 5,000 pounds of bombs. The distinctive twin-tail and Davis wing design provided extended range. Strengths include greater bomb load and range than B-17, while weaknesses are vulnerability to battle damage and difficult handling. Vought F-4U Corsair, the Whistling Death. This was the carrier fighter that dominated the Pacific with an incredible kill ratio of 11-1. It weighed 9,205 pounds empty and reached 446 miles per hour, powered by a Pratt & Whitney R-2800 producing 2,380 horsepower. The distinctive inverted gull wing allowed a massive propeller while keeping landing gear short. Strengths include exceptional speed and firepower with 650 caliber machine guns, while weaknesses are difficult carrier landing characteristics. Douglas SBD Dauntless, the Battle Winner. This was the dive bomber that won the Battle of Midway, sinking 4 Japanese carriers in one day. It weighed 6,675 pounds empty and reached only 255 miles per hour, painfully slow for 1942. But it was incredibly accurate in dives, placing 1,000-pound bombs directly onto carrier flight decks. Strengths include exceptional dive bombing accuracy and crucial victories at Midway, while weaknesses are slow speed and obsolescence by 1944. United Kingdom RAF Defenders. Supermarine Spitfire, the Icon. This was the aircraft that saved Britain during the Battle of Britain in 1940. It weighed 5,065 pounds empty and reached 378 miles per hour, powered by a Rolls-Royce Merlin producing 1,470 horsepower. The elliptical wings gave it exceptional maneuverability, and later marks carried 20mm cannons and reached over 450 miles per hour. Strengths include beautiful handling characteristics and continuous improvement throughout the war, while weaknesses are limited range. Hawker Hurricane, the Workhorse. This was the fighter that shot down more German aircraft during the Battle of Britain than all other defenses combined. It weighed 5,745 pounds empty and reached 340 miles per hour, slower than the Spitfire but easier to produce and repair. Armed with 8 303 caliber machine guns, it was exceptionally stable as a gun platform. Strengths include ease of production and excellent gun platform stability, while weaknesses are obsolete construction. Avro Lancaster, the Night Bomber. This was the heavy bomber that carried the British strategic bombing campaign deep into Germany every night. It weighed 36,900 pounds empty and reached 287 miles per hour, carrying an incredible 14,000 pounds of bombs, double the B-17 load. The massive bomb bay could accommodate special weapons, including the 22,000-pound Grand Slam earthquake bomb. Strengths include enormous bomb-carrying capacity, while weaknesses are vulnerability to night fighters. De Havilland Mosquito, the wooden wonder. This was the fast bomber built entirely of wood to save strategic materials. It weighed 14,300 pounds empty and reached 415 miles per hour, faster than most fighters. With no defensive armament, it relied purely on speed to survive and could carry 4,000 pounds of bombs to Berlin. Strengths include exceptional speed, negating need for defensive guns, and versatility, while weaknesses are wooden construction vulnerable to tropical climates. Hawker Typhoon, the ground pounder. This was the low-level fighter bomber that dominated ground attack missions after D-Day. It weighed 11,700 pounds empty and reached 412 miles per hour, powered by a Napier Sabre engine producing 2,180 horsepower. Armed with 4 20mm cannons and 8 rockets, it devastated German armor during the Normandy campaign. Strengths include devastating ground attack capability, while weaknesses are poor high-altitude performance. Hawker Tempest, the V-1 killer. This was the development of the Typhoon designed to catch German V-1 flying bombs threatening London. It weighed 11,400 pounds empty and reached 435 miles per hour, fast enough to chase down the jet-powered V-1s. Armed with 4 20mm cannons, it was one of the best piston fighters of the war. Strengths include exceptional speed at all altitudes, while weaknesses are late-war introduction limiting impact. Soviet Union, Red Air Force. Yakovlev Yak-3, the lightweight champion. This was the lightest and most maneuverable fighter of World War II. It weighed only 4,960 pounds empty and reached 407 miles per hour, powered by a Klimov engine producing 1,300 horsepower. German pilots were ordered to avoid combat below 16,000 feet, where the Yak-3 was virtually untouchable. Strengths include exceptional low-altitude maneuverability, while weaknesses are poor high-altitude performance and limited range. Lavochkin La-5 and La-7, the radial killers. These were the rugged radial engine fighters that matched German performance on the Eastern Front. The La-5 weighed 6,173 pounds empty and reached 403 miles per hour, while the improved La-7 reached 423 miles per hour. Armed with 2 or 3 20mm cannons, they had devastating firepower and were easier to maintain in harsh Russian conditions. Strengths include excellent ruggedness and firepower, while weaknesses are cramped cockpit. Ilyushin Il-2 Sturmovik, the flying tank. This was the most produced aircraft in history, with over 36,000 built, designed as an armored ground attack platform. It weighed 9,590 pounds empty and reached only 257 miles per hour, but the entire forward fuselage was an armored shell protecting the pilot and engine. Armed with 2 23mm cannons and 8 rockets, it devastated German armor. Strengths include unprecedented armor protection, while weaknesses are extreme vulnerability from rear attacks. Petlyakov P-2, the Soviet Mosquito. This was the fast twin-engine bomber that provided tactical support for Soviet offensives. It weighed 12,943 pounds empty and reached 336 miles per hour, fast enough to evade most interceptors. Carrying 2,200 pounds of bombs, it could perform dive bombing attacks with accuracy. Strengths include good speed for a bomber and dive bombing capability, while weaknesses are light bomb load. Japan Rising Sun Terror, the long-range killer. This was the fighter that shocked the world when it appeared over Pearl Harbor and the Philippines. It weighed only 3,704 pounds empty and reached 351 miles per hour, but its incredible range of 1,930 miles allowed it to escort bombers across vast Pacific distances. The maneuverability was legendary, but it achieved this through eliminating all armor. Strengths include unmatched range and maneuverability, while weaknesses are complete lack of pilot protection. Nakajima Ki-43 Hayabusa Oscar, the Army Zero. This was the Japanese Army's lightweight fighter, similar in philosophy to the Navy's Zero. It weighed 3,638 pounds empty and reached 329 miles per hour with exceptional maneuverability. Like the Zero, it sacrificed all protection for performance and was armed with only two 12.7mm machine guns. Strengths include excellent maneuverability, while weaknesses are pathetic armament and no pilot protection. Nakajima Ki 84 Hey 8 Frank, the best fighter. This was Japan's best fighter of the war, finally matching Allied performance in all categories. It weighed 5,864 pounds empty and reached 427 miles per hour, powered by a Nakajima Hamar engine producing 1,990 horsepower. For the first time, Japanese designers included armor protection and self-sealing fuel tanks. Strengths include balanced design with protection and performance, while weaknesses are unreliable engine. Mitsubishi G4M Betty, the Flying Lighter. This was the long-range bomber that Allied pilots called the Flying Lighter because it burst into flames so easily. It weighed 14,860 pounds empty and reached 272 miles per hour, with incredible range exceeding 3,700 miles. Like Japanese fighters, it achieved range by eliminating all protection and unprotected fuel tanks ignited from a single tracer round. Strengths include exceptional range for Pacific operations, while weaknesses are catastrophic vulnerability. Conclusion: these 30 aircraft defined aerial warfare and transformed combat forever. Each nation's design philosophy reflected their strategy, and together they changed the world.